thank NYLA for this distinguished award that I'm receiving this year. Comes as a surprise when you go to a new place, such as Wine Dance. You never know what you're going to get in terms of working with staff, but it's been a great honor to come to a place like this and work with great librarians here and kind of, adhere to some of the things you do as a director. You have some people who are willing to work with you, some people aren't willing to work with you, but coming here has been a great honor to come and work with a great bunch of people. We've gone through a lot here in the last year and a half since I've been here. Continue to work, and receiving an award like this is something that's you never think of that you're going to get, or even think about working in an environment where you would get an award for just doing the things you love to do. And it's a great honor. So I would also like to thank, I guess, my mentors that helped me in this business. Maureen O'Connor, who's a person that's been in libraries for a very long time, who got me in this business, sort of 20 years ago, working as a youth counselor at a library I worked at 20 years ago, and continue to grow in terms of what a library director is supposed to do in terms of partnering with the community, working with the community, and also working with the staff. So I hope that this award not only enhances what people may think about the Wine Dance Public Library, but also enhances what people think about directors and the difficulties of managing, people in terms of banned books, trying to do programs that would entice people to want to come and not vote to walk with their feet out the door. So, an honor like this, for the person that this award stands for, is just a great achievement for not only me, but also the staff I work with. So, again, thank you. Thank you to the trailblazers that, have set the fork for me. Thank you to the people that actually got me in the business that I never thought I would ever be in, coming from the background I came from, playing, professional basketball, working as a teacher. I never thought I'd be in this seat as a library director, but again, I had people in my career when I first started that told me that this is a great opportunity to be in, because they don't have a lot of people in libraries that actually look like me. But it was a great honor. So in life, you want to pay it forward, and I hope to continue to pay it forward by bringing other people in the profession, talking to folks, mentoring as many people as I possibly can in terms of what public libraries are about, and then keep doing the job that I can do and work as hard as I can work, not only for the library but for the community. So once again, I want to thank NYLA for this prestigious award. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank those who nominated me and wrote letters of support. I'm deeply honored to be selected to receive the NYLA Distinguished Achievement Award on both a personal and a professional level. Thank you. Thank you very much. I also want to thank Dr. Arthur Friedman, who exhorted in his library management class that he was teaching way back in 1993 at Queens College Library School, to join and become involved with our local and state professional organizations. And I took that advice very seriously. In my years participating in various NYLA committees, roundtables, and sections, serving on council and various task forces, I've had the pleasure of working with extraordinary executive directors: Susan Keitel, Michael Borges, Jeremy Johansson, and now Annalee Dragon. There have been so many memorable people I've worked with over the years in NYLA. Whatever I achieved, it was always in collaboration with dedicated and much smarter people than myself, and I appreciate them all. To prove how long I've been around NYLA, take a look at this 1995 t-shirt from the RAS, Reference and Adult Services section, Fun Run, Rochester. 30 years ago. And I hope to have at least another 20 years to achieve even more with all of you and those who have recently joined NYLA and those who will join our wonderful and vital profession. My interest in intellectual freedom was sparked 50 years ago, April 1975, when I was a student at the Island Trees High School in Levittown, Long Island, when some board members removed objectionable books from the senior and junior high school libraries. As we know, We are now standing up together to confront those same arrogant and ignorant attitudes and actions. I want to give a special shout out to my fellow students back then who took the cause all the way to the United States Supreme Court in 1982. Glenn Yaris, Jackie Gold, Russell Rieger, Paul Sachinsky, and Stephen Pico. To my English teacher, the late Mrs. Pepper, and the late school librarian Irene Turin. To the many community members, parents, and the American New York Civil Liberties Union, and Kurt Vonnegut, the author, who showed up and fought back. So let me say the last few things. Keep advocating for increased and badly needed library funding. Keep fighting for intellectual freedom and democracy and against bullies. Keep showing up together and give blood if you can. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm truly honored to receive the New York Library Association's Intellectual Freedom Award. Thank you so much to the committee and to my colleagues who nominated me. I'm really grateful and honestly a little overwhelmed to be recognized for work that to me just feels like the heart of what we do as librarians. Intellectual freedom isn't an abstract idea, it's personal. It's every student who finds a book that finally reflects their lived experience, every educator who trusts us to connect them with diverse perspectives, and every library worker who firmly says, no, that book stays. At the University at Albany Libraries, I've tried to center this belief through what we call Beyond Banned Books Week, a year-round conversation that extends past a single week in October. We've hosted Drag Queen Story Time with our partners at the Gender and Sexuality Resource Center, panels on the censorship of queer literature, readouts both in person and virtually about challenged books, and in-class discussions with first-year writing students about the First Amendment, civil discourse, and what it really means to read freely in today's world. And every single time, students surprise me with their curiosity and compassion. They ask smart, difficult questions. They may disagree with one another, but they listen. They're thinking deeply about what kind of society they want to live in, and that gives me hope. I share this word with them and with my colleagues and library student ambassadors at UAlbany who help make these conversations possible. Whether they're setting up chairs for an event, promoting an event, or standing beside me at the podium, they are the reason this work has reach and meaning. To my friends and mentors across library land, thank you for modeling courage and community. Your example reminds me that defending intellectual freedom isn't something any of us are doing alone. It's a daily collective practice of saying, access matters, representation matters, and above all else, truth still matters. We're living through a time when censorship efforts are growing louder, but our response has to be louder still, always rooted in empathy, education, and an unwavering resolve. So I accept this award not as a finish line, but as motivation to continue going forward. Because free people read freely, and libraries truly make that possible. Thank you again, NYLA, for this incredible honor and for everything you do to help protect the right to read, to think, and to imagine freely.
I owe a lot of thank yous. Thank you to my amazing team in the Onondaga Supreme Court Law Library, who are passionate advocates for civic education and access to justice. Thank you to our administrative judge and district executive who have committed so much time to our library. And thank you to NYLA and the committee for selecting me for an award I never even considered being nominated for, let alone receiving. This past summer, I happened to catch an old episode of a show called Someone's Gotta Do It. The featured craftsman was a neon sign maker named Evan Voiles. He walked the audience through the process of designing a sign.
We are trying to, in a very brief moment, send the message, you're in the right place, and this place is different than any place else you've seen.
I felt like I'd been hit by a bolt of lightning because that was it. That was the message we try to send every day to the court staff, to the attorneys, to the tour groups, and to the unrepresented, overwhelmed litigants who come to our public access law library looking for information that will equip them to make the best possible decision in a difficult situation. It's also the message I want to share with all of you. If you work in a library in these complicated, messy, contentious times we live in, you need to know. You are in the right place, and this place is different from anywhere else you've seen, and that is by design.
Hi there. I just want to thank NYLA so much for the huge honor of being named Public Librarian of the Year. It means so much to me. When you work in teen services, sometimes you feel like you're kind of shouting into the void and hoping your message gets out and someone's getting it. And this is truly an honor I will cherish for the rest of my career. I do want to thank my coworker Alexis, who nominated me for this award, who is an outstanding librarian in her own right. I want to thank my staff at Wood Library, who are always down for whatever kind of crazy idea I have going on at any given time. My library family in the OWL library system, and then my friends over in Monroe County as well that I work with on stuff. I want to thank my family, my mom, who helps kind of manage the chaos of getting kids on and off buses while I'm at work, and my husband, who holds down the fort when I'm working late, and my kids, who are two of the best little boys I know. I may be biased, but they are awesome. And then finally, I want to thank my kids, my library kids, who have made me the person I am today. I've learned so much from them. Hopefully they've taken something from me too. I'm just so fortunate to be able to be a part of their lives and watch them grow, and that is also one of the biggest honors of my career as well. So thank you, NYLA.
I'd like to thank the selection committee for my nomination as NYLA School Librarian of the Year. I couldn't be more thrilled, but it didn't happen alone, that's for sure. I want to shout out to my peeps out there, all the school library directors that support me, and you know who you are. I see you, Jim Belair and Julia and Alicia. You're my peeps, and I so appreciate all you have done to help me grow my career. I also want to thank my family, my mom, who's an inspiration, and my husband, without whom I wouldn't be able to function. He is the rock to my role, that is for sure. And he believes in me when nobody else does. Also want to thank my doves, my support staff, Laura, who retired, and Sue, who retired. I think there's a pattern there. And my current doves, Charlene, because without them, the world doesn't swim. I'm just me, and they are certainly the cogs in the wheel that make everything spin. And my GST librarians. We are small but mighty. 70 schools and 40 certified librarians, and we rock and roll. These guys are great, and it is because of them and their passion and their dedication to library land that I'm able to do what I do. So to all of you, I want to thank you. It is a tough time in the world to be a school librarian or a librarian in general, and all of you that fight the fight every day to do the best thing we can for kids. Because without my kids from Horseheads and the Heights that cheered me on and came to the library and did all the stuff, there wouldn't be us. So keep it up for the kids. Thank you to y'all. I appreciate it.